Hello? 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 Hello, welcome. Hello, welcome to our live stream. My name is Vita. Very happy to see you here. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Today in our tea class, I would love to share this poem. One of the most famous Chinese black tea called Lapsang Souchong, which is also called as Chong'an County. This tea is from Chinese Fujian Province. I have to say this in our live stream. I don't know, have ever tried this tea as the most famous Chinese fine green tea sold around the world. This tea has more than 400 years tea making history. If you ever try it or you have any opinion want to share with us, please, you're welcome to share in our comment. This is the Lapsang Souchong I want to share with you today. This tea is from Chinese Fujian Province, Wuyi City. At Wuyi, if you like Chinese oolong, I suppose you must already heard a very famous oolong tea from, we call it as Wuyi road tea. This tea is from the same city, the coal producing place of Wuyi Mountain. Okay. First of all, let me introduce the program of our live stream today. The first hour, I will focus on this tea. I will show you how to brew this tea with traditional Chinese Gongfu Cha Wei. For the second hour, the second section, I will display some handmade, original designed Chinese tea waves with you. During our tea session, please feel free to ask me any questions or share any opinion in our comment. Technically, this tea, as I mentioned, this tea is Lapsang Souchong, called as the ancestor of black tea. As you know, this tea has more than 400 years tea making history. Since 17th century, this tea, the first time this Lapsang Souchong Chinese tea was brought by Dutch merchant to the Europe, and this tea, we can say this tea creates and started English tea afternoon tea culture. So you can see this the importance of this tea around in entire tea industry. Okay. Technically, this tea nowadays in the market, there are generally two types. One type probably already tried it. It depends on during the entire tea making process if this Lapsang Souchong is smoked by mason pie or not. The tea I want to share with you, this tea is kind of smokeless Lapsang Souchong, and there also another type, smoked Lapsang Souchong. What's the difference? Regarding the flavor, although often made from the same raw material and with the traditional craftsmanship, because the drying and the withering depends on if this tea is applied with the smoking process. For the smoke Lapsang Souchong, it has a very unique smoked pie fragrance and the delicious longan flavor. However, the tea I want to share with you, this tea personally smokeless Lapsang Souchong is more in line for my personal taste and preference. This tea is really featured by its long-lasting sweet fruity, lychee-like aroma, and very elegant floral fragrance. Okay, this is the general basic details about this tea. Bonjour. Okay. Now let me. Oh, first of all, share the title of this tea in our comment. Bring a good cup of Lapsang Souchong. There are three in Chinese tea ceremony. There are three points are very important. The first thing is the tea to water ratio, water temperature, and steeping time. For this Lapsang Souchong, for this tea, for this tea to water ratio, I would recommend to use around 1 to 30. For instance, like this guy one is about 150 ml. 150 ml. So I'm gonna take 4 grams for this guy one for this teapot. For this water temperature, this tea. What for the water temperature? Back, thank you. For the water temperature, I recommend to use around 95 Celsius to Celsius degree or to just boiled water. Okay. I'll share the. The great information in our comment. If you're new to this tea, you want to discover this wonderful Lapsang Souchong, the ancestor of black tea. You can take note because this great information will be very helpful for your the first discovery of this tea. Hello teacher, you have a beautiful gift teacher. That is really is a line for the many beautiful things. Thank you, Frank Mark. Morning, welcome. This tea is premium Lapsang Souchong. It's made from very high grade. It made from one bud with 2 leaves. Physically, it's very delicate. Please look at. The strip, this strip is tight and tender. You can notice that it's tender and very slim, tight, which has a very beautiful deep brown color. Looks very oily. This is a very physically looks very beautiful, very delicate. I cannot wait to try. Okay, now I want to show you the tea we're going to use for this tea ceremony. This tea is featured by its highly aromatic and unique fragrance profile, so I'll choose a guy who wants to bring it. Hey, Sifa, hello, welcome to Java Street. In Chinese tea ceremony, you do you know how we call it? In Chinese we call it as gong bao bei bao. Literally, you can also call it as a fairy cup. The function of this fairy cup is spare tea echoed into every teacup. So your echo respect what each guest in the tea ceremony. And this is my cup. Okay, so funny questions? Questions, please feel free to share in our comment. Now we can start our first infusion. This tea, as I mentioned, this Lapsang Souchong is regarded as the ancestor of black tea. This black tea presents a very unique black tea style, which is very different from Indian Assam black tea or Sri Lanka black tea. Later I will explain why. In this hour, I will show you how to read with the traditional Kung Fu Cha way step by step. Because for Lapsang Souchong, I think this tea is the most familiar black tea you ever drink. Most people, when they drink Lapsang Souchong, they don't drink alone. They'll add some honey or milk, sugar, anything. Okay. However, for this tea, the tea I'm sharing with you today, you don't need anything. You just need simple hot water. Because this tea, believe me, the quality of this tea will surprise your taste bud. And you will understand, Chinese tea, less is more. You don't need anything to cover the original flavor taste of tea. Simply just water. Okay. And now we can start our tea ceremony. In this tea ceremony, the first step we call it as a preheating process. This preheating process is inevitable and necessary for almost every Chinese tea ceremony. Probably you're curious why I have to preheat because this teaware is not clean enough. No, not true, because just like I earlier mentioned, 3 key points to bring good cup of Chinese tea. The first thing, tea to water ratio as water temperature. So imagine if if we don't preheat the the teaware will remain the room temperature. So when we pour hot water into the teaware, this teaware will absorb some temperature from the water. So your water will be not hot enough. This is the reason sometimes why your tea doesn't taste so fragrant, not mellow enough. Probably because your water temperature is not enough. This is the reason why we have to preheat the tea before the first infusion. And now it's very simple to do it. You just preheat the tea wares you're gonna use here. Preheat. Guide 1. Teacup. Now we can put the tea into the teapot. This is Lapsang Souchong I want to share with you today. Even this dry tea has a very charming fragrance. So when you put tea in, when you finish to put the tea into the teapot, you can try that now. You can shake several times and smell it out. This step we call it shaking fragrance. And then smell the dry tea now, because now when you touch it, it's hot after the preheating process. The dry tea will become more noticeable and distinct. Very pleasant, sweet, fruity, and a woody aroma. Now we already prepared and we finished preparation. This tea, for this tea, depends on personal preference. You can raise it, or you can bring directly your first infusion. I can share that nowadays the tea is made with very clean condition. Raising step it's not so necessary, but depends on your personal preference. For brewing such highly aromatic tea, because a certain most aromatic substance requires high water temperature. So when you bring this tea, water temperature I recommend to use around above 95 Celsius degree. And when you bring it for such, especially for such highly aromatic tea, you keep your kettle high to create a strong and faster water flushing. How to do it? It's very simple. Keep your kettle high, so you don't have to bring pour water very gentle, just like when you bring like a fine green tea or high grade black tea. Keep your kettle high. Steeping time 15 seconds. 15 seconds. The first infusion, so beautiful, it's so color. So final questions? Please feel free to ask me any questions. Please look at, this is our first infusion. Wow, look at such beautiful gold amber color. Look at this. It's a very beautiful, so clear. Is it that Tongmu Chong'an Souchong? Lapsang Souchong is basically the first black tea overmade. Okay, I would say we call it as the ancestor of black tea, but however, I believe before this tea, we invented this black tea since the mid of Ming Dynasty. So I think this tea, we say it has over 400 years of tea making history, but personally I think probably even much earlier before. Or in other regions of China, the black tea already was already invented, but you know, the Lapsang Souchong was introduced the first time to the Europe, made Chinese tea very famous was since 17th century. 17th century. That was smoked right, always according to the scripture. Generally in the market, there's two types of Lapsang Souchong. It's smoked one and smokeless Lapsang Souchong. The one I'm sharing with you today, this is a smokeless Lapsang Souchong. Because personally, this smokeless tea is more in line with my taste, and besides, because at that time I smoked Lapsang Souchong when it was introduced to UK, to Great Britain. That time, people, the royal family, they tend to add some milk, honey, sugar to cover the strong smoke flavor and fragrance. But if you just brew with the water, personally I think from the operation of flavor and taste, smoked flavor and taste will be a little bit strong if you just bring it with this water. For sure, if you add some milk, honey, sugar, it will cover the tea flavor. Okay, let me try it. This tea smells so sweet, very sweet. Sweet. Lapsang Souchong has a sweet, dominant sweet, fruity, lychee-like, lychee. You know that their fruit, Chinese fruit, called lychee, or lychee-like flavor and fragrance. Tastes very sweet, with a gentle floral aroma. This Lapsang Souchong black tea is from the core production place called it's called Tongmu. Later on I will show the tea garden area. This place is recognized as the best in the best area for the growth of the tea tree. Besides, the ecological environment of this area, Tongmu is excellent. In China, we always say the environment determines the upper limit of a tea. This is one, because the craftsmanship determines the bottom of tea, and the environment determines how good this tea can be. The upper limit of the tea. So this we can say this tea got both of them great craftsmanship and excellent aroma. Let me try it after I will show you this environment. It tastes very sweet, fragrant, mellow, tender. Very sweet, naturally sweet, tender, especially about its mellow, fruity flavor. After drinking it, there's a great sweet aftertaste and the lingering fragrance and finish inside your mouth. It's incredible how you can precisely put the right amount of tea. Thank you. This tea, it tastes very real. The mouthfeel is very tender, soft, sweet. Generally for Chinese black tea, premium Chinese black tea, one of the most distinct features about sweetness and tenderness. Sweetness, naturally sweet. Probably, if you in the case you never try any Chinese black tea, when you try it without seeing I'm preparing it, probably think we add some honey sugar inside, because it tastes so simply naturally sweet. But we can assure 100% sure that this natural sweetness from the tea itself, 100% natural without adding any artificial sugar or honey. It is from the tea itself. This tea has a very complex fragrance profile. I will show you this Tongmu tea garden area. Very big. This is one of our most famous Chinese mountain landscape. Look at this. Look at this amazing, beautiful place. This Tongmu area, our team is from, it's located in this coal production area. This Tongmu this place is located in National Forest Park. This place, the forest coverage can even reaches over 96%. Can you imagine such high forest coverage? In China, we will say high mountain produces better tea. Why? Because this place look at such high forest coverage and with so rich soil and abundant rainfall and enough sunshine. Those factors contribute the quality of the raw material, the fresh leaves. This tea is from, imagine our tea trees are growing up in such beautiful ecological environment. That's why I say the environment determines the upper limit of a tea, and the craftsmanship determines the bottom level of a tea. Craftsmanship and environment. Beautiful. Smell that when you pour tea out and smell and return back to smell the fragrance left on the bottom of this fairy cup, it smells so sweet and so intense. This is a proof of the quality of this tea as well. This place protect you from industry deforestation? Yes, definitely. This place is actually our national forest park. National forest. Everything is protect. Is for the purpose of protecting the biodiversity and the forest. And actually, this place is very well protected. Is one day if you are interested in traveling China, you want to do a tea journey. This city we notice must go place. And besides this place, this place has a very unique climate. We call it microclimate. In this area, this mountain. This place, how could we? I would say, generally, when we say climate, it must include a large land, right? However, in this mountain, because thanks to the altitude and the high forest coverage, this place even creates its own, we call it microclimate. This place is recognized as one of the best place of the growth of the tea tree. This is reason why tea from Wuyi mountain is always recognized as quality. Now we continue our second infusion. Thanks to that excellent ecological environment, this tea can be brewed over 10 times, highly resident. Continue our second infusion. The water just boiled. You look at our high. Steeping time 10 to 15 seconds. Look at this our second infusion. Such beautiful high golden color with a beautiful brightness and clarity. This is from this tea is for the moment looks like. Incredible, very informative, and sure one day I hope to visit this places. In this place, if you're able to hike, probably the mid mountain. In the mid mountain, you will see there's some very beautiful antique Chinese, antique Buddhist temple, very beautiful. Thank you. This tea, this Lapsang Souchong also has a very delicious milky aroma. Very delicious. This tea has a sour, sweet, mellow, lychee-like, fruity fragrance, and fresh wood aroma, floral, gentle floral fragrance. Actually. When the tea enters into your mouth, you're surprised by its mellowness and gentleness. After drinking it, wait for a while. You will note that you will feel there's a lingering finish and deep aftertaste occurring above your taste and bud. This is a great proof of our quality of this tea quality. And you can imagine why we can call this Lapsang Souchong as the ancestor of black tea. And based on the craftsmanship of this Lapsang Souchong, we Chinese continue to invent the variety of black tea like Gong Fu black tea, Tanyang Gong Fu, all kinds of Chinese Gong Fu black tea. All of them is based on the craftsmanship of Tanyang Gong Fu, based on this Lapsang Souchong. Okay, so final questions? If you have any questions, please feel free to share or comment. Bonjour, Italien, bonjour. if you just start to drink Chinese tea, this tea, I strongly recommend to you. Or if you are a black tea lover, I also strongly, sincerely recommend you this tea. Even black tea is the most popular tea sold around the world. I suppose all of you already tried, even not Chinese one. Okay, probably you think they will taste similar, similar or the same. No, it's it's not the true. And compared with let me with like Sri Lanka, India, and some black tea. Okay, first of all, this tea is made from Fujian local tea variety tea cultivar. This tea is kind of a small leaf cultivar. You can notice that the tulips is small, the size is small, and besides, although often black tea, however, the craftsmanship is very different. Is it easy to find in Europe? If you are interested in this tea, please go to check our tea shop link in our bio in our bio in our profile. This tea not only for the fragrance, not only for nose to smelling, but when you drink tea, the fragrance in the tea itself as well. The fragrance, this tea has not the fragrance is not kind of a superficial fragrance. You know, some like some industrial tea. Okay, some tea you smell it, you can smell it, but when you drink it, the fragrance disappearing. Totally. This tea, it's not this case. Not only for drinking and not only smelling, but you can also drink it. This is what in Chinese we call it fragrance. Fragrance falling into into the tea. This tea, after drinking, there's a very delicate finish linger inside the mouth. I will definitely check the exact go admit that's why I'm curious to try. This tea very worthy to have a try. If you're interested in black tea in our tea shop, we're also selling all kinds of Chinese black tea. One's from Fujian Province. If you like refreshing, brisk floral aroma, there's a great black tea from Fujian Province as well. We call it Tanyang Gongfu. Tanyang Gongfu. As like I explained it before, why we call this Lapsang Souchong as the ancestor of the black tea, because for Chinese tea, for Chinese black tea, all Chinese black tea nowadays you drink is based on the craftsmanship of Lapsang Souchong, and later on we call it as Tanyang Gongfu. Gongfu black tea. Gongfu black tea. For black tea in our tea shop, there is a very interesting. There is some very interesting from Yunnan Province. We call it black tea from Yunnan Province as Dian Hong. If you're interested, you can check the old black tea we are selling our shop, there's a black tea we call the Chinese bread. That one is very worthy to have a try. And you, often each of them presents a unique flavor and taste. Very worthy to have a try. Very delicate, especially aftertaste and the finish. Now I want to show you. Look at this one, the soft tea leaves. What's the difference between Chinese tea and other tea from the other country? Okay, there's a very huge difference. I can tell you that physical appearance of Chinese tea. It sounds not so humble, but I dare say it's the most beautiful physically, because in our Chinese tea, the professional sensory tea evaluation. According to different physical appearance always plays a certain percentage for the evaluation, the entire evaluation. Please look at this tea. Look at the beautiful soft tea leaves. Soft tea leaves. And we put the light. Look at this. Can you see it now? Wow, such beautiful fresh. It has a reddish brown color. Very beautiful. When you drink it, you can check by yourself. So, funny questions? If you're interested in this Lapsang Souchong, just we call it as Chong'an County, please go to check out the shop link in view. So, funny questions? Now this tea turns back to room temperature. When smell the fragrance still remains intense and full-bodied. Black tea, if you're a Chinese tea beginner or black tea, and a very high grade white peony, I always recommend the Chinese tea beginner to try first of all black tea and a high grade white tea, because both of them they have a very adorable acceptable flavor and taste. Because generally nobody will refuse floral, fruity aroma and taste. I think it depends on the quantity you drink and depends on quantity you drink. Now we continue our third infusion. This tea is highly resistant and can be brewed over 10 times. Keep your kettle high. This kettle actually has a very soft snow water stream. This teapot. The spot is small. 10 to seconds. Let's look at our fourth infusion. Look at this. This is our third infusion or fourth infusion. Still remains the beautiful color, just like the first infusion. Look at this. It's golden color. Compared with like Indian Assam black tea or Sri Lanka black tea, probably notice that the tea color looks quite different, right? The other black tea probably looks much more reddish and deep. This is a difference. There's a great difference between Chinese black tea and India and Sri Lanka black tea. Why? Because this one technically Chinese tea is made from not all of them, but generally made from small medium tea leaf cultivar. Generally, those tea cultivar we say contains a lower tea polyphenol content. Technically, black tea is 100% fermented tea, so this is a reason to determine the color of the tea soup, because a relatively lower tea polyphenol content, so means you know, when the tea polyphenol what's the fermentation? There's a chemical conversion happening. The tea polyphenol will turn to natural pigment. This is reason why generally Chinese black tea has a less intense color and looks much more golden and golden honey color. So you can imagine that generally Chinese black tea takes more from the mouthfeel aspect. Here I don't say which one is better. Both of them has their own unique flavor taste. But technically, Chinese tea takes more delicate, more elegant, and like Sri Lanka, India black tea takes more mellow. There's a huge difference. If you're interested in this tea, please go to check out tea shop link video and compare with the black tea from India and Sri Lanka. You can make a comparison. You will see the difference. This tea has such a complicated and pleasant fragrance profile. dominant sweet fruity lychee aroma, and gentle floral fragrance, and delicate soury milky fragrance. Because this tea, the aroma of this is from Tongmu, one the core production area. Thanks to excellent ecological environment, you see that those tea trees growing like in a beautiful forest, and on high altitude mountain. This tea has a natural wide, we call it wide mountain flavor. It's highly resistant, long fragrance, long lasting, and besides complex, rich flavor in the taste. This tea I strongly recommend to you. If interested in this tea, please go to check out the show link in our video. Without any unpleasant astringency and bitterness. Very sweet and fragrant, tender. Especially for after drinking, the finish is lingering and very decent. This is great proof of the tea quality. That's why we say less is more is the best description for Chinese tea. You don't need to add any honey, sugar, milk to cover the unpleasant odor from the tea, because generally for the tea not good enough, we add something extra to cover the unpleasant flavor and taste. If this tea good enough, we will not waste this tea to add anything, to add extra thing. This is why every time for Chinese tea, I always recommend for the teas we are selling in our tea shop. I always recommend to use simple. Okay. Very fragrant. So funny questions? We continue. This tea can be brewed over 10 times. Highly resistant. Generally, for Chinese black tea, resistance is not something we look at. Green tea, black tea, yellow tea, this is not resistance. How many resistance is not something we look at. However, if a black tea has great resistance to bring over 10 times, 8 times, it's a surplus. This is a plus quality. This is a plus quality. This is the reason this tea I strongly recommend you. Hello, welcome to Chong'an Street. For the moment, we are bringing a premium Chinese black tea, Lapsang Souchong. In Chinese, we also call it Chong'an Souchong. After swallowing, there's because this tea is so tender, so soft, silky. After drinking, you'll feel your throat is very It's very comfortable. There's a great feeling, comfortable feeling after drinking it. This is a great pleasure to enjoy it, to drink this tea. Strongly recommend to if you Chinese tea beginner, if you like black tea, because Lapsang Souchong has a very unique flavor taste, and the rest tea, black tea around the world, including Chinese ones, all of them are based on the craftsmanship of Lapsang Souchong, the ancestor of black tea. Thank you for sharing your video. You're welcome. I feel the more you bring it, the sweet becomes more. This tea, I really surprised by its sweetness and the rich flavor and the taste. Mellow, fruity, lychee-like aroma and soury, milky fragrance, refreshing floral aroma. What's the name of this tea? Is it black tea? Yeah, I will write in your comment. Lapsang Souchong. The most, I even don't say one of the most. I think it's the most famous because I don't think any Chinese black tea can popular the reputation of any Chinese black tea can surpass this one, Lapsang Souchong. This Lapsang Souchong has more than 400 years tea making history. 400 and this tea, when this tea was Dutch merchant this tea Lapsang Souchong to back to Europe, and then this tea started English afternoon culture. You can imagine, yeah, this tea would say this Lapsang Souchong to some degrees. We say this tea change kind of lifestyle. Tongmu and smoke Lapsang Souchong is one of the best tea I have had. Kung Fu style, yeah, I think the milk sugar totally was the thing which brings unbelievable colors for care of the flavors. Yeah, definitely. Because if you add milk, milk, honey, sugar will cover the original flavor taste of the tea itself. If in the case if the tea quality is not good enough, this is a solution to improve the flavor taste. However, for such a premium tea, it's useless, and you will the food of the especially milk flavor milk itself will cover the original flavor taste. And this is why when we try a high quality Chinese tea, you don't need anything. You just need a simple water, simple boiled, not boiled, hot water. Depends on the tea. Okay, now continue our. This is our fifth, probably fifth. After this one, keep your kettle high. This kettle is very suitable for green tea because the spout is small and slow. 10 to 15 seconds. This tea is highly resistant. You can bring over 10 times. This tea, there's no any this Lapsang Souchong. There's no any unpleasant astringency and bitterness unpleasant acidity because some tea friends are complain before again talk with me like the black tea they taste it before taste a little bit sour. Generally, high quality, well crafted black tea should not taste the acid. This tasting unpleasant acid. This is in our Chinese sensory evaluation. This is regarded as the huge quality flaw. Once this tea tastes acid, we don't even need to try anything. This tea must be below 60. We got 100 score, 0 to 100 score. This tea must be okay. Once this tea try unpleasant acid for the black tea, okay, we generally regard it as generally the score we give must be below 60 because it's kind of flawed. This is our fifth infusion. Still remain. You see the fifth infusion still remains such the same color brightness like the first infusion. Delicious, milky aroma. How can I prepare? I want to make it at home. If you're interested in this tea, please go to check our tea shop link in below because you'll join us a little bit later. This live stream is recorded. You can, if you are interested in how we prepare, you can go to check our feed, our account. This morning I actually shared the record of the live stream. You can go to re-watch it. I show it with the details how we prepare with the traditional Gongfu Chao. You don't have to need to use a gai one because I get used to use gai one. You can use a teapot, a simple teapot to prepare. If you don't know how to bring it properly, you can also go to check. When you buy it, you go to check our item link. I also share the brewing method information, very with details, tea to water ratio, steeping time, anything. After trying it, the tea doesn't taste as not good enough. You can message us. But generally, with such brewing information we share with you, generally it's already enough for you to brew a good cup of Chinese tea. Fragrance. This is our fusion. This tea still remains wonderful. Okay, now I'm gonna the reticulars amount of natural sweet and almost nectar-like heavenly fruity taste nobody will ever taste. You should, dear fellow tea friends. Yeah, this tea, our tea friend, he or she mentions very correct. He has a very amazing natural sweetness, and besides delicious nectar flavor and taste. Thank you for enjoying the tea. Helps me feel calm and happy. You're welcome. This is the reason why we are here today. This tea, this tea are very friendly. Besides, this black tea is very friendly for Chinese tea beginner. Okay, if you're interested in this tea, please go to check out the shop link in below. I'm gonna show the guy one I'm using today. Guy one is the no, it's technically or personally, but with I think the most Chinese tea lovers have share the same feeling like me. Guy one is the most efficient maker we tea maker, yeah, I would say. Very because for sure in the case if you get used to, if you just begin Chinese tea, you can always try with the traditional teapot. It's nice, but when you accumulate enough experience, you can try some Chinese kind one because especially for oolong, which requires certain oolong requires a short steeping time. Gaiwa will be very useful and efficient. Such a beautiful hair, amazing Franco. This one I'm using, this one has a very beautiful, unique, precious turquoise. I will zoom it so that you can see the detail. This set is from Chinese Jingdezhen. I don't know, have I ever heard fine China from Jingdezhen? It sounds sometimes when I say this sounds not so humble, modest, but true. Jingdezhen produce not because I'm Chinese, so I praise the quality of porcelain from Jingdezhen. This is the truth. Jingdezhen is producing in the past, okay. Nowadays, in the future, is producing the best fine china around the world. Once you get porcelain from Jingdezhen, you will understand why we say Jingdezhen producing the best porcelain pottery, not pottery, but pottery. This is not pottery is great, but there's some place make great pottery as well. But for the porcelain ceramic, Jingdezhen is the top one. Jingdezhen generally is featured by the quality of the glaze and the design, painting, actual. The one I'm using today, this one is this one. Three colors available. I'll zoom it out. Three colors available. Okay. Now it's May. Lotus blossoms start to blossom in May, June, and July. That's one. 100% handmade, hand painted. Look at this craftsmanship, painting craftsmanship. We call it. Second, I call it in Chinese. We call it 珐琅彩 珐琅彩 animal. Look at the details of this painting. This lotus painting looks like a Chinese classical ink painting. Look at the details. The details of lotus. Very lovely. Especially for this beautiful, unique turquoise glaze. Such beautiful. This quality of this glaze. Turquoise is not. It's kind of hard to make turquoise glaze. Very elegant, signature from maker. Lotus. Look at this gray, so beautiful. Lotus in Chinese culture, Chinese Buddhism culture, Chinese culture and culture, symbolizes pure love, inner peace, the harmony.
especially in our feng shui culture, we love to display some blossoming flower trees. We Chinese believe those flowers uh, mm, those flowers can bring us happiness, health, harmony in the family. Look at this one. Wow. Sally, the details are amazing. Look at this glaze. This is in Chinese we call 珐琅彩 100% hand painted. When you touch it, it's not totally flat. It's a little bit convex. Rare and unique masterpiece of beauty. Thank you, Franco. Turquoise, signature from the maker. Three colors available. This turquoise. There are also teacup to match teacups, but I don't take teacup with me. Lotus. This lotus. Look at this one, pink one, pink. Wow. And have you ever smelled lotus? Lotus has a very cooling, refreshing fragrance, very pleasant to smell, especially in summertime. Using it, I feel just like I'm sitting nearby, drinking tea nearby lotus. Les dessins de fleurs de lotus sont très jolis. This one, lotus. The details is excellent, very beautiful, very like lotus spot. Signature from makeup. This glaze is very beautiful. Look at such beautiful pink, bright pink glaze. Lotus. And this is our lotus cup. One I like very much. 100% handmade. This one is made from Chinese unique Yang Zhiyu clay. You can notice that this clay has a similar jade finish texture. Very beautiful. White as snow. Look at this. 100% handmade by our artisan. So beautiful. Wow. Look at the stamen inside, the details. Stunning, and thank you. Very beautiful. And this one. This one is from Jingdezhen as well. This one is painted by Master Wang Bin. We are indeed selling a lot masterpieces from Wang Bin. Wang Bin's artworks have a certain collection value because it has won the very precious title as a national intangible cultural inheritor of traditional porcelain craftsmanship. This is a lotus report from him. Look at this. So beautiful. This craftsmanship we call Chinese we call it 粉彩. Literally, you can also call it as family rose. Look at the details of a lotus. So lifelike. Family rose. the lotus seed. Inside there's a bowl filter. This is the cover, lotus bud. Very delicate, this one. Very lovely. So lovely. If you're interested in anything presenting our live stream, please go to check out his shop link in bio. This one, this lotus, 100% handmade masterpiece from Jingdezhen. Jingdezhen. It's as collectors like me appreciate beautiful things. That's great. Okay. Though in front of us, those are unique single piece Chinese authentic wood fire wares. Wood fire I don't have ever seen in your life. Wood fire. How we define wood fire generally during the firing process, if you use we use wood as fire fuel, the items will be classified as wood fire. For the wood fire, there's two types: glazed and unglazed. Those they are often 100% unglazed. However, probably you're curious if I say it's unglazed, why they look like they already glazed. Yeah, this is the beauty of a wood fire. When the temperature reaches a certain stage, over 1,000 Celsius degree. Can you imagine over 1,200 Celsius degree? The ash start to melt and to help the iron element in the clay itself to form such unique, I would say unique glaze. Please look at that. This is what we call come in with the color, come out with a different color. Okay, in the probably if you're not familiar with the wood firing, now today also prepare a video with you. This is how we.
大家上午好，今天我们千年火柴烧窑正式点火烧窑了。虽然是阴天，我们烧窑的激动心情依旧高亢。大家现在看到的是，我们的窑主正在点火温窑。刚开始烧温比较慢，窑温整体维持在300-400度。温窑得